So except upon the examples we did before, we're pretty much get the same ideas, just that now I'm introducing the whole idea of the 5-member summary and the box plot that corresponds with use calculator. I already showed you that within the same list we had a 5-member summary and how to identify them. So how they're important in a box plot and how do we use them in the future, especially when we get into outliers and the difference between outliers and unusual values or significant values. But anyways, right now we're just going to practice identify the 5-member summary by hand and also calculator and see how we're getting the same answers. So some will be repeated from the previous video, but that won't be a problem. So over here, our job is to calculate the 5-member summary of the annual U.S. sales of vinyl record albums, and the units are happen to be in millions of units. Then graph the corresponding box plot that goes with it. The parameters between here, I have it scaled out, but once again, scale is important, but these guys are not necessarily here, so it'll be a little more easier to do my squares. But anyways, here, same dots, information, and notice over here, we have the 5-member summary that looks very similar to what the output is on the Excel, on the calculators. So remember now to find the 5-member summary. So I'm going to recollect how to do it again. And I'm going to do the sorting again to do the 5-member summary again for each one to see how we get to them. Because almost everything's sorted already. So come over here. What we're going to probably do is first of all turn it on. Where's the wrong one? Oh, but anyways, come over here. We know that the 5-member summary is here, but how do I get that? How do I get there again? So first I'm just going to second quit, get to the verses. So once again, I'm still under statistics. So we're always under statistics for this one, for the most part. That's where our stats is pretty much done. So come over here. Well, it's not here. It's calculated right here. So then go out right here. If you needed to, you do a second quit to get to the original options. Then here it is in my menu for it. So calculate. And then one bar, but very, very important, make sure we set it and make sure it's this one. If it's another list, you're going to get something else. So once this one, but this case, we'll do this, and then I hit 1 and enter, and that's how I change it. So pretty much that's good, so I'll go exit for this one, for the conceal, and pretty much now I can do part 1. So now, here's the versions of I had. So once again, that's the mean, X bar, sample mean. So the sum of all the measures in X, into this, of variables, the sum of all the measures squared. Over here is supposed to be the population standard deviation, so if we have population, that's what it would have been. If it was some standard deviation, we use a sample. But do note that the X bar can become mean with population. The calculator doesn't note it here, but since population mean and standard deviation mean, or sample mean, are the same sort of formulas, these guys interchange each other, but these guys do not because they require 2 different formulas. Same for the lowercase n. These guys interchange. They become lowercase or capital N depending on sample population. The calculator doesn't put both because it's interchangeable. And it first wants to find a sample because that's what we do for one-person statistics based on sample, not based on population. So, but as you scroll down, we see the 5-member summary. We see right there. Max of the x's. Where the measurements, Q1, which is first quartile, mid, which is second quartile, Q3, which is third quartile, and the max of the x's. So we're always having it in ascending order. It represents the ascending order of a graph, and we didn't give the values, but it gives you key information at the bottom. So come over here to the graph, the TI-84s. How do you find it again? Well, all you gotta do is go to stat. My list, it should already be here, it's this one, but remember I already sorted it, so I don't have the original data in the original setup, it's a sorted data setup. But once again, if you need to sort, just go back and do the whole calculate, sort under stats. So stats, the sort's right here, it's a quick find. But go to calculate, 1 bar, go to 1 variable, statistics, and once again, this one, is that's what our says, so we need to change it to put alpha 1 and keep that as nothing and then go ahead and calculate, and we get the same results, which is max, right there. For those guys who Inspire, since it's happening for you guys, with Inspire. Same work, same idea. So under your home, what I already did before, it's right here. Well, I'm gonna go back, and so how to go back? Well, I just do control back, and what it is just gonna keep going back to all the things I've done. I'm just gonna do that. But because by doing that, you can actually go back and replace things that you don't want, which is pretty interesting. But it still memorizes it. That's one flaw. It still memorizes it. So if you have to read this one, it's still gonna remember it. So it has a good perks, but bad perks to it. But over here, once again, I just want to go back to how I did before. So I'm under remember statistics for this one list. So therefore, what I do, I go to menu, I go to stats, and go to stats calculator or calculations, enter, and one variable is the first option. So I enter for one variable. And notice how it says right here, number of lists, obviously, only want to change one list, not all of them. So I'm going to change in the first one, so I'm going to click on one, well, and have one selected, and then OK. Once again, the list 1x I want to have, that's what's my variables, which is list 1. So list 1 coming up. Everything else is good. Just keep it the way it is. And it's, I'll go ahead and enter. It's going to say cell reference. No, I want verbal reference. So make sure you change to variable reference and have that selected and press OK. And just simply, if I've done it in the second one like I did before, this will pop up if you have data or list already made and that's the region I want to do it because I want to do it right after it. So therefore I'm okay. It says it's okay, I can always bring it back later on, like I told you that last time. All you have to do is come over here and in this region just retype in the list you want that it was supposed to be. So once it's list 2, it comes back. Okay? That's a good thing about this calculator. But anyways, here's all my information, right? Everything's here. So we're seeing the same information as we did all the calculators. So, okay, so how do I graph? Oh, no graph, but okay, let's note them now. Now we know what they are, let's go ahead and note them where they belong. Let's go to, oh, there they are. Okay. Oh, come on. Oh, okay, let's come over here. I already know that my min, it says my share is supposed to be 1.2. What is the expectation you to see? Because I've said the video, it wasn't that easy to see. My apologies. I know what is all units, so it's million of units sold. So Q1 is the next one down, which is supposed to be 1.45. And we'll see how this is done by sorting, and I already showed you how to find it in the previous video, but I'll show it again here, so we won't get too out of whack. Same thing here with the other units. But there doesn't be parentheses. I put parentheses because this is parentheses, but usually most units are not parentheses. They're just pretty much different cells. So median, we said supposed to be 1.55. So there we are. Q2. Oh, I have Q2 here. Oh shoot. I'll fix it on the you call it. You guys have some PDFs, but it's supposed to be Q3 here. That's my fault. Q3 goes right here. We'll come over here. Q3 is supposed to be 1.65. And the max is 1.9. 0. over here you put 0 because the number of units. But these guys know how to measure the center, should be okay, but this is definitely measure the center. So it definitely needs it. But anyways, we have that situated, and then once again, these are just quoted. I don't know if that's time right now. So that's how we found out the final summary. Once again, so how do we locate it? Using the list. Well, first thing first, we have to have it sorted in order. What's one thing? So make sure you have this sorted in order so we get things to go work. But I already done so earlier, and once again, you guys go back to the previous video to see it when it showed those standard deviation stuff. But once again, what it should end up happening for the sorts, it should have been first sorted up in orange for sorts. Okay. Sort ascending with the A ascending. We ended up pretty much getting a 1.2 followed by the 1.4, and there's 2 of them. Followed by 1.5, followed by the 1.5, and another 1.5, followed by the 1.6, and there were supposed to be 3 of these guys as well. 1.6, followed by the 1.7, the 1.8, and the 1.9. So that's what happened when we sorted it. Once again, look at previous videos to see it. The sorting is not that difficult. But anyways, what we say here is, once again, the median is supposed to be halfway between. So you want your locator, when we're the locator for any of these quartiles for median, all you can do is pretty much locator. Pretty much have the number of observations, which is their sample size, plus 1 extra value divided by 2. And this here tells you exactly where it's located. Okay. It will be between variables, 2 different measurements, or it might be right on it. So come over here, when we actually did it, we actually had the 12 plus the 1 over the 2, which ends up becoming 13 over 2, and that's pretty much supposed to be 6.5. So you know we're happy between 6 and 5, 6 and 7. So that's what we do. We go happy between, which is so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6.5 is right here, and that's where we're gonna be. So this is where your median is. And all we gotta do is pretty much do the formula for it, which is get the mid distance, halfway between. Halfway between these guys right here, it's supposed to be 1.55. That's what happens. So how you get the Q3 or the Q1? Well, since since none of the data is being used for the median, it happens to be right in the middle. So even though it's a repeater and you use it, if it's right in the middle, none of it is being used. So what we'll do is we split it in half where the median is at. So this half is split. And then with these first guys, let's see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I do the same thing over here, instead of putting 12, I'll put 6. I'll get 7 over 2, which is going to become 3.5 instead. So that means that I'm halfway between the 3rd and 4th value measurements. So therefore, if I go 1, 2, 3 and a half, I'm here. I'm in this region here for my Q1. And if you go halfway between, go mid distance between the 2, you're going to end up getting the 1.45 like it's shown right here. You get it when you go halfway and do the formula for it. And then last, same thing's happening over here to the top 50% of the data. We do the same thing, and we can say count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 still, because it's supposed to be pretty neutral on both sides. I'm doing the same jumps. So it's supposed to be between 3 or 4 decimals. I'm going to do the 3rd or 4th value within this region. So 1, 2, 3, here I am. And I'm going to go mid-distance between them, because they're halfway between. If it was a whole solid 1, it would be itself, but it's not a whole solid 1, so therefore I have to go halfway between. But anyways, over here, this is where my Q3 is located. And so mid-range between 1.6 and 1.7 is 1.65. And that's how they got it, right there. And that's how I do it by hand with the work. But first, sorting is the key. You have to sort the data, and then you can figure things out from there. So now, how do I draw the box plot? Just note that here is x-axis. This is supposed to be always your x-axis, the vertical line, or horizontal line right here is your x-axis. So that was supposed to be your measures, because remember these were all x's. Keep that in mind. So what we're saying here is it's supposed to be the annual. Can't spell for some reason. Annual U.S. sales. And what these guys see here, once again, it's supposed to be in millions of units. So we have to keep that in mind. And now if we look over here, let's look at our scaling. Our scaling is going to be key here. Notice over here it was 1.2, 1.45, 2 being the minimum, 1.9 being the maximum. But notice how we're going by 0.05s. Keep that in mind too. So when we're doing our scaling over here, we keep permanence consistent with that. So all we gotta do is make sure that we have consistent jumps within it. So 0.5 is not that easy, or not that difficult one to do. So I could definitely go between 1 and 2. Okay, and I can go by scale 10 for all the points. So therefore, I can put on this region right here. This could be where my 1 is at, so 1.0. And then I'll just do even scales 0.1 all the way through. So this would be my 1.1, my 1.2, the border, my 1.3, my 1.4, my 1.5, my 1.6, my 1.7, my 1.8, my 1.9, and my 2.0. So that's 6. And we clearly know that if I go mid-distance, that's going to be the 0.05s. So I don't really need to note them, but I know that they're midway. You should know. Well, this one here actually is being scrubbed. So if you're going to do this right here, make sure you actually come over here and do like a switch line right here. Kind of like a pulse radar or for heart rate. Make sure you put that there so we can know it's a jump, and we know if we go from 0 to this guy real quick within here, so we don't get confused what's inside there. And then that's over here. Something's happening and we're good. Go beyond if you want. Okay, but let's go ahead and start drafting this. So we know that our first one, our min is supposed to be here at 1.2, which is right here. So 1.2, I could literally put that line right here. This is off. Right here. So I put 1.2 right there. And I have a line that comes right here, and I'll start to build my box. So we call these guys it's usually whiskers, because whiskers are usually where, but for now, whiskers are used for outliers ones. We could still types of whisker for now. This is an endpoint for it. But let's go ahead and get to the next one, which is supposed to be the first quartile, which is supposed to be at 1.45. Well, 1.45 is definitely between 1.4 and 1.5, halfway between. So I'm looking right here in this region. So that's where my box is going to start. So we know this right here is my min, which we knew was supposed to, and I read it right above it, which was supposed to be 1.2. Then now we had our Q1, which is right here, which is our 1.45. The next one over we're seeing is supposed to be at 1.55. Well, 1.55 is right here. So I could draw this little spot right there. This is your mid, also referred to as Q2. And that's our 1.55. Come over here, next one over, looking at the 1.65. 1.6 is right here, 1.65 is half between. So we're looking at the distribution right here. And we know this right here is supposed to be your Q3, so I'm going to go to the Q2. I'm just going to write Q3 right here. And this guy is supposed to be out the 1.65. Goes right there. And then the last one is supposed to be the max, which is at 1.9. 1.9 is right here. So I'm going to get the distribution right here. And, that's for max. That's for max is. And pretty much we're going to get the 1.9. And all we're going to do is connect them. So from whisker to the first box, where the box begins was at Q1, we just draw a line. Q1 to Q3 is a box. That's what it's called, the box plot. So the box is here between Q1 and Q3. Where the median is somewhere in the middle. Well, somewhere in between, not in the middle, but somewhere inside. The median is always somewhere between Q1 and Q3. And over here is now we continue the line for the whiskers from Q3 over to the max. This is how the setup box plots is made. The whiskers are at the min and max. When you do the one that has outliers, it may not be there. It might be a different value within there, and the outliers will become like asterisk, a dot, or a star, whatever. But that's what's happening. So, what's really happening here at each of these spots? And then I'll show you the box plot. For the Q1, where Q1 is right here. What it's really saying here is it's dividing the bottom 25%. of your datum. It's dividing it from your top 75%. That's what it's doing. That's a Q1 doing. If you drop down Q2, and I'll be alternating between red and orange. And I'm just going to put Q2 right here, which is your median. Well, this one right here actually separates the bottom 25%, or it hit bottom 50, so I have to erase a little bit. But over here it's going to be your bottom 50% from your top 50%. That's what that one's doing. And lastly, our Q3. What Q3 does is separates the bottom 75%, because remember these are all quarters. Let's keep in mind, so we're separating and low-key they're alternately the same percentiles. So what we're seeing here is that it's separating the bottom 75% from the top 25%. That's what's happening there. Maybe I should have done it in the same color, so it won't be too different. But that's what's happening there. So what is IQR? Okay, like I showed you guys before, what IQR was. IQR is permanent distribution right here. This whole length right here is your IQR, which is short for interquartile range. So what we're seeing here is, well, it's clearly found by doing Q3 minus Q1, that's for sure. Okay. And once again, it's the distance between, this is distance of the middle 50% of your data. Because all we're doing is we're going right in the middle of these guys. And notice, this is 50%. Okay? So that's all it is. It's the distance of the middle 50% of the data. That's what Q3 is. I'm sorry, IQR. And counting by this by subtracting the 2. If I were to finish it off, we're just going to be here at the 1.65 minus the 1.45, which should end up becoming 1.20. And that's where the IQR comes into play, and it comes into play by the idea of quartiles and the box. So if you can see those things right there, I was trying to get visible, but hopefully it's good. So how do I graph them on here? How do I graph them up here? Well, that's not too difficult, but it's pretty cool. So first, I'm going to show you using the Casio, and then we push on to the other ones. So come on to the Casio first. I'm going to pretty much second quit this, and then I have to get the graph. So I'm going to hit graph, but I'm going to first thing I'm going to select to make sure make sure that's the only one's on is the top graph. I'm going to use that graph on one, and make sure it's on. So if we need to press on, and we go exit, and now we go to set. So what we'll do here is I already have it set up for it to be mid. But what you're going to do here is you have to find mid-box. Mid-box means box for the Casios. But notice how they're not here. It's not the first option. So I'm going to press the right arrow, or the right forward, and notice how it's right here. Second option when it's a histogram. Mid-box, aka box plot. I'm going to enter it. Okay, I'm going to enter it. So now it's not going to be this 3. Ours came from this 1. So I have to make sure I put in the appropriate list, this 1. And over here, frequency 1. Over here, we have something pretty interesting. It's for outliers. It's on and off. Okay. And this right here, it could be adjusted. How so? So if you want to do outliers, you can turn it on. If you want to do no outliers, you can turn it off. But I don't think it's figured out any outliers. So I'm just going to go without the outliers first and see what happens if I turn it on. And over here, if you want, you can change the color of the box, which is pretty interesting. So the box here, I said I want the box to have a different color. Let's say I want it to be this nice cyan, and I could enter it. So I'm gonna have a cyan box, and pretty much everything's good from there. And then we go. Oh, I haven't set a box, so it's very cyan. So I'm gonna change the box to black. Oops, I should have noticed that. Over here, the inside, I could change it, and that could see the box inside color, and we can turn it to cyan. Okay, if I go ahead and click on area color, choose your color, add a cyan, so keep that, and then over here you can put printing style, and pretty much in here you can either go bold, normal, or lighter. I did lighter, and that's pretty much how that's set up for these guys. And then I could go ahead and first enter. Okay for exit, and then come over here, I could exit, and now I could grab it, and there it is. So but what do you notice on the bottom? You're not seeing the scale. That's not a good thing. But one thing I do here, I go to Windows, I go to the Windows here, so I can go trace Windows. Oh, sorry, did it wrong. I go to second Windows. And over here I could adjust it. Notice over here I went to the minimum of being 1. So I could say, okay, I could let this guy be at the minimum of 1. Or in the case 1.0. The max I said was going to be 2, so I'll put here to 2.0. And for the scale, it wasn't 5, that's way too big. I made mine based off 0.1, or you can do 0.5 if you want. But I did 0.1, so you could do 0.1 like that. The dot size keep consistent like that. Over here we keep the same. Let me enter it, and now I could enter, and now do my graph. Now I see a scale, which is better. Now I can know exactly how to graph it and what to put my things, which is good. Okay. Maybe a trace. Well, the trace button's right here, so you can do second or shift trace, and even right here, you could get your answers pretty quick without having to go to the stats. You can have your answers right here for the box plot. But the scale should be your key when you graph it. The scale should be your key. Okay. So that's how you could get the box plot on a Casio. Let's go ahead and look over here. Since my Inspire's out right now, I'll do my Inspire real quick. I'm just going to turn this guy on. Okay. So I have my data and stuff in here. That's no biggie. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go, and first thing first, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a new page. That's the key thing. So I'm going to do Control Page, and then over here I'm going to do the Add Data Sheet or Statistics, and on the bottom I'm going to do the same thing like I did before. I'm going to go over here, hit, and it's supposed to be 1, so I'm going to do L1, have that one selected. So it quickly goes and makes a dot plot, which looks pretty somewhat normal. Okay, not very normal, not symmetric, pretty symmetric, but approximately normal, which is great. But that's not the one I wanted to graph. So I'm going to go to Menu, and I'm going to go to Plot Type, and right there, we have an option, box plot, histogram, normal probability. I'm going to do the box plot. So I enter the box plot, and there it does. It makes a box plot. But notice over here, it gets do whiskers. Okay? It gets do whiskers. But let's see if we can get that to happen. And look at it, it does its own scaling. Which is a good thing for this one here. It tries to center things up and scale it. But once again, it does its own scale. It gets to do the one that we want, it does what it wants. Keep that in mind. So I'm going to menu and see what I can do for plot types. So I'm going to go to plot properties. And then here, let's see what we have. We have extend box with plot whiskers. Yes, I want the whiskers. So make sure I hit that, and that did nothing. How funny. Show box plot. Oh, I said shows box plots outliers. No, notice how when I hit that, nothing happened. So I'm going to apply, there's no outliers. Okay, that's good to know. But I wanted to get the whiskers out, and apparently out here, I don't think I see any whiskers. So you can't really do the whiskers in this one, but you can graph them onto your own graph. Let me just exit. So clearly, let me see no outliers there. So when I come back to the seal and I try the same thing will happen. There'll be no outliers. So if I do the same thing, I go exit, and I go back to my set, and instead of having outliers off, I have outliers on. Okay, and I graph it. It's going to try to graph the outliers, but it's saying there's no outliers. And there's no outliers. That pretty much just makes sense because when I first came over here and graphed this guy, we didn't see any. And the dot plot, I'm going to make another one for us. We clearly see no outliers. All the data appear to be close to majority of the data. So therefore, no outliers. So it makes sense. So why there's no outliers. But anyways, that's how you can pretty much get onto an Inspire. Just remember, you have to make a new page and do it that way. Don't do it through the list and spreadsheets. It's not going to work. And lastly, the wonderful TI-84, which most of you guys have. So, come over here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this real quick. So come over here for you guys. You can do your second stat plot, and you're gonna make sure that it's pretty much everything that's off. So here I want this graph off, so I'm gonna make sure it's off for right now. I don't want this graph right now. And then I'm gonna go to plot 1, and I make sure plot 1 is on. So I'm gonna turn you on. Make sure it's on. And then over here you see your 2 options. The second to last one, that's your regular box plot. While the second one, the third one to the right is your dot plots with outliers. Okay? So I'm gonna do the dot plot first, right, on the regular one for right now. And before you do anything, make sure that you have your appropriate list, X list, which is supposed to be list 1, because that's where I had all mine at, list 1. So now I enter. Frequency, yes, everything's good. You can change the color if you want, but I'm going to graph it with the red. Hopefully it's visible. Notice, hey, nothing's here. That's weird. Why is that the case? Well, maybe because my scaling is not good. So what I'm first do here is I'm going to zoom, which is pretty much the middle right here. I'm going to zoom, and I'm going to go to stat 9. It's supposed to be 9, which is supposed to be the zoom stats. Zoom 9. Zoom stats number 9 option. So I hit 9, and finding how to do a histogram. I thought it's a dot plot. Let me go back and see how it happened. I must have messed up, but second graph. Oh, there it is. I have a histogram. I thought I hit on it, but I did not. So I'm going over here, and I'm gonna make sure I hit, and it shows that it's selected. I didn't notice that. I thought I did it. Okay. So now I could graph, and there's my box plot. And purpose has some skeletons up in here. Well, since we're here, and if I actually learned how to how to do grids in here, it's pretty nice. Once again, I could also get the skeleton for this one right, real quick. So I'll do the skeleton real quick, and I'll show you how to do grids. Anyways, remember I didn't want to start at 1.0, 1.2, I wanted to start at 1.0, a little off so it could be kind of centered. So it's just a little off, the max was 2.0, so I'll put 2.0. And my scale was not supposed to be 1.4, it was supposed to be 0.1. So I'll put 0.1. That's the scale I want to use. So now, when I go back to the graph, it looks a little better. And it's matching the graph that's over here. It's matching it. Okay. So, now, what I do from here? Well, let's say I want to get the grid. This one has grid and the other one has grid. I can get the grid for it. Nice. So what to do? I could do it's under format. So I'm going to do second and format. So we have all these options. So over here, I'll call them one coordinate. Don't do polars for calculus and trigonometry. But I'm gonna have coordinates on. The grid, it's showing off. I'm gonna turn it into a line. Don't do that. Dot is kind of not that good. Just I'll make a line. So I'll enter, get the line on. And over here, you could change. You could choose the color of your grid. So even here, I think the mid range should be okay. I'm not gonna do that. If you want to go dark, you can go gray. But I'm keeping the mid gray. Over here, the axis we'll probably keep black. Label, that's just limiting X and Y, so it's not really that important. But notice over here you have X already labeled, so you can do the same. Say, oh, label on. So I'm gonna enter, have you on. Expert, I don't know what that is, but we'll keep that on. And over here you can change your background color. You have various options for the TI-84. So I'm gonna keep to the one that the opponents have, which is the gray one. And over here, you can actually put a background, like an image. It's pretty nice. But I ain't putting no images in here. I'm just leaving it the way it is. And that's pretty much it. Now, I can go ahead and get to my graph. And notice how now you can see the grid marks. And the scale for the Y's, that could be adjusted too. But I don't care about one here what's the scale for the X's. But I know these are all 0.1s, which is good. I know this starts at 0.1. So I can have a good, decent idea what the graph looks like from there. Okay, but that's pretty much how you could draw a box plot onto your calculator. And over here, after I mentioned that you want to try to do the outlier, you could do it by the second graph, and over here we'll choose this one. But instead of choosing the second to last one, I'm gonna choose the third to last right one. And now the definition we want the outliers, and actually, okay, how do you want to mark the outliers? Well, I put the plus if it does exist. Oh crap, I messed up. Over here, ensure, go down to where it's at, and put the plus to where it exists. And our graph it, but notice how I'm doing the same graph. And that's, once again, because there is no outliers. That's the only reason why. There is no outliers. Okay? That's pretty much it. For Bob Plots in a nutshell. And 5 numbers learner. So later on in another video, I'm going to show you guys how, okay, if you have the calculus of outliers, but how can we find it using formulas? And there's a way to actually dictate, okay, we know for a fact that beyond this value are outliers, within these values are not outliers. And we'll see that in the next part when we have, or the examples, the video we're going to have is going to be unusual values versus outliers. I'm going to see when we use, how we use them and when we could use them interchangeably. Okay? Thank you.